know who you are.
Can I say something?
Yes.
My problem is not struggling saying things about myself. My problem is spelling.
Okay.
That's when my problem comes in.
Okay.
But I know things about myself. I'm a very good person. I'm a giving person. I'm a person that loves God and is willing to do anything and everything that God desires me to do. I talk to my pastor all the time. I even ask Pastor, why would God choose me to be a prophetess? When I never went to school. I never had an education. So why would he choose me to be a prophetess? I spent a great amount of time with him, and I love spending that time with God. So I have a lot of great qualities about myself. The problem is the spelling.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. I'm coming right back to you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, when everybody about done, we feel like we're pretty good with that?
It has to be words specifically.
Well, so if you read it and they say tie is,
Oh, yeah.
you want to be able to finish the sentence. So like tie is, finish that, make that a sentence. So 10 things. Right? This is good. Now you see that you all are thinking now. You're thinking, and this is what you have to think on things in order to change things. And here's the thing, a lot of times we go to church, or we say even events where we are inspired, we are empowered, but where is the thinking? It's only when you take the time and create the space to think about what you need to change that you can become aware of it so that you can actually make the change. So a lot of times the change is not happening because we're not really taking the time. We're just taking it in, but we're not taking the time to really process what we just received, to really process so that you can have the opportunity to apply, right? So that you have the opportunity to see what different action I need to take. Because you keep making the same actions, you're gonna keep getting the same results. Now, if it's a result that you want to continue to repeat, keep taking that action. But if you're talking about renewing your mind, when you're talking about evolving, when you're talking about maturing, improving, when you're talking about Kaizen, that word means continuous improvement. That means you have to take some time to evaluate and assess where you are. How are you going to measure your growth if you haven't had the chance to really think about where you are? So a lot of times we just, because we've never measured our growth, we don't really know if we're growing. We don't really know if we're growing. Okay, so do I have anyone that is would say they're complete? All right, hands up in the back. I want you to show hands if you're good. So I want you on the next card. I want you on the next. There's two. You should have 2 cards.
That's all right. I got
You can flip it over to the back if you need to.
to.
Yeah. So on the next card, now watch how quick y'all do this. God is. 10 characteristics of God. God is. God is. Who is God? What are his characteristics? We sing that song all the time. Jehovah Jireh.
Sing it better.
So I really want you to get you all thinking. This is really good. I'm excited to see how this flows.
Anybody done?
Yeah, if you pop down your 10, put your hand, slip your hand in the air. I wanna see when you got your 10.
Okay.
Thank you, bless you, prophetess. This is good. My husband and I, we've started, in the mornings, we have our prayer and we meditate, but we have time, we do this in the morning, it's part of our routine. We don't just rush out in life. We take a little time in the morning to think, to write our intention down for the day, and we take control of our day. And we do that through just taking some time to put our thoughts together, sort of like what you're doing now. All right. Can I get a few more of you all done? We're gonna, we're done here? Great.
I have a question. If you have your 10 down, could you have written 10 more things just as easily?
Yes, for God. Yes, for God.
Okay,
Yeah.
about God is, you could have,
Yeah, about
you
God.
probably could have, you probably was racking your brain about the 50 things you had going in your brain to
Right.
get 10 down, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. This is worth the time, so I'm excited to share with you. Can I have 3 people self-select themselves who will be willing to share what's on their cards?
All right?
All right, so come so I can let you have the mic. So the first thing I want you to share is, I want you to share the 10 things about yourself. So read it like your name is, like 10 sentences.
Charlene is motivated, positive leader, self-going, giving, loving, helper, protector, overprotecting, loving, long-suffering, and get stressed a lot.
Okay. So, on your card, on that same card, I want you to read that again as God is.
God is motivation, motivated, positive, leader, self-going, giving, loving, helper, protector, overprotecting, long-suffering, and get stressed a lot.
No, I want you all to sit with the power of what we just did. God is in you.
Mm-hmm.
He works through you. He lives as you. So your experience with God is what you just wrote on that card. Your life is going to be through that exact lens. I don't care what in word or in theory what you want to believe. The reality of your world is exactly how you describe yourself. Okay? So I want somebody else. I want you to tell me what's on your card.
I
Is that for
can't see.
me or God?
For you.
A child of God, a born leader, a gifted leader, a great follower, a peacemaker, a wonderful husband, a great father, a frustrated Christian, a sheep, and a new creature.
That's awesome. So through that same lens, the way that you identify yourself, it is the way, that is your identity of who God is. God is to you who you are to you.
Absolutely.
This is serious. I don't care what the word, I don't care
Right.
what you think is who you are.
Right.
And if God and you are one, how you think about yourself is how you think about God. Or that's the limitation that you put on God's ability to work through you and to be experienced as you. This is powerful, right? And so, prophetess, you were saying, like, I wonder why God, chose me to be a prophetess. What you're saying is like, I feel inadequate. I don't feel, that's that not enoughness. Something's wrong with me. Could it be possible that the lens that you need to view yourself out of just need to be cleansed? Could it be possible that like we were talking about the selfies? I think you were talking about the selfie on the camera with Lady Angela.
Yes.
And how you don't want to be doing all this work, and then you look at the picture, and the thumbprint is on cover the lens, and you say, "Oh, this dirt is blurry, it's dirty," and you guess what? You said something powerful. You don't even know you said. You said, and you delete the picture. And so a lot of us make ourselves obsolete, and we delete our possibility because we are looking at our lives through that insecurity or that inadequacy, and it really inhibits God from being able to do what God has already done. It inhibits, and you begin to self-sabotage and hinder yourself from being able to walk in the authority and the dominion and the rule. So I'm really challenging you, and I want to go through a few more of these because this is very powerful. We'll go through yours next. Is it possible that what God has already destined for you to perform and do in this world, that you don't need to know how to read or write. Maybe you an oracle, maybe you a prophetess. You don't need to read or write. That is not that's not valuable to you. Society has said you need to read. Society has said you need to write. But all you need to know is what you do so well that God, the gift on your life is so big that it will cover the fact that you can't read and write.
Yes.
Learn how to use your mouth well. Learn how to record yourself on audio.
Now, excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
I never said I couldn't read.
Well, right well.
I can't spell.
Spell.
I'm not good at spelling. But I will read you under the table.
See, well, with the spelling.
Yeah.
And so, but for you though, the spelling was really huge. I can tell that the spelling has been holding you back.
Yeah.
It's some things and some ways that you want to show up and give, that the fact that you know
Yeah.
that you struggle with spelling, you have allowed that to cause your gifting to be a struggle. To cause your ability to receive is a struggle. But once you let that go, once you understand that I am an individual expression of God, doesn't mean that you, if you want to, can't work on that area. But whether you work on that area or not, you have to say, is this really necessary for me to fulfill my purpose in the earth? And what the answer would be is no,
No.
absolutely not.
My desire is to follow the law of God, not the law of man.
Exactly.
Because I love him so much. God has done amazing things in my life. He has covered me from a little girl. And I tell you, when I pray, I must say, in the presence of God and everyone, when I go in prayer, I get answers. He never fails to answer me. He never fails to take excellent care of me. And that's why I believe and I owe everything about myself to God. And my purpose is to please God at all times. I just want to make sure that my Father is okay with me and that I do exactly what he wants me to do. I want to keep a smile on his face at all times.
Absolutely. So the way that you do that,
That's my joy.